All right, welcome to this special edition of the Connecting Faith to Life podcast. This is episode 139. And Trey, what's unique about this episode? Well, a couple things. One, we are on location.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's something right out there that I can see from here. We are on location.
We are sitting on a patio in Israel on the Sea of Galilee.
That's right.
Like, you can look up right now and see the sea. You can see the mountains. This might be the coolest podcast location ever.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
So it definitely is.
We've been here for a couple days on our 11-day journey in Israel. So really, we're just getting started. This is day 2, day 3?
Day 3.
Well, day 3 of touring. So we finished our 3rd day of touring. And so we have some of our friends with us who are on the journey.
Yeah.
My wife, who is my friend.
That's good.
Yes.
We want to keep it that way.
All right. Yes, and Diana, who is on the trip with us, and Bill and your son Ivy, which I know has been special for you.
Yeah,
we'll
been
talk
real
about
neat.
that in a minute. Just the kind of the uniqueness of being here with your son, not your wife. Your wife's never been here.
No, she's never
So
been.
you brought your son instead of your wife. How did that conversation go over?
Well, she wanted to go, but school. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
she just can't get off school that long.
Yeah.
So one day, hopefully,
One day.
we retire, she'll come out here.
And how did your wife respond to it? Because you didn't bring your wife, and you left your wife with 14 kids.
Almost 14. Feels like that sometimes. No, she's her response to me was, "Don't act like you're taking one for the team going to Israel." That was literally what she said. And but no, she's amazing, and we were just blessed. The kids actually had a couple of weeks off of school, so the older kids could help her.
So she has to deal with them all day long.
All day long.
So you say
At
she was
night.
blessed, but she
We'll
gets
see.
no break.
It's
So when you
It
get
is
home,
what it is.
when you get home, is she getting a week off?
I told her she could go on a trip, and I'd keep
Wherever
the
you wanna
kids.
go.
Yeah.
That's good. And my wife has been here. This is 3rd time you've been here. 4th time you've been here. And then Diana and Bill, 1st time for them. Okay, so what I want to do is just kind of walk through just highlights. We have a lot more to see. We're really just getting started. So just first impressions. So Trey, you think about your first impressions. I guess the question is, how is this different than what you expected it to be? Is it different?
It's way different. I just had no idea about Galilee, for instance, sitting on this lake right here. I never put it together that it's 600 plus. What was it, Ivy? 700 feet below sea level, and just it's a very subtropical type atmosphere. And then the other thing that overwhelmed me, I always heard how close everything was, and I guess when we get to Jerusalem, I'll feel that. But up here, Jesus walking from Caesarea to Philippi to Mount Hermon and, wherever he was walking, I mean, that was a walking man. I mean, he walked a long way.
Probably some good quads.
Yeah, exactly. And to get the word out and to do what he had to do, just those 2 things were probably the biggest. I was surprised by this and the lake, and I was surprised by just the amount of walking that Jesus did.
Yeah. What about for the rest of you? How has this been maybe different than what you expected? I know, because when you think about it, you've got a mental image of what it's going to be like when you go on a trip like this. So what's been different than what you expected?
Well, for me, I think still processing, but
And this is Diana, by the way.
This is Diana. I think just seeing the old places where it's almost like you step back in time, but then going to more modern places, and it's all kind of in the same vicinity almost. And also having groups of people around was something, that I was...
It's not as serene and peaceful as you might think.
Correct.
Right? You're thinking you come and have a moment with Jesus, but you're having your moment with Jesus with 1,000 other people.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So you have to seek it out.
Yeah.
You have to seek it out and be intentional about it.
Yeah. Which we're here at a time that's really not crowded at all. So imagine coming in past years when you really are on top of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Disney World.
But not.
Just a little holier than Disney.
Right.
A little holier.
Just a little bit.
What about you, Bill? What's been kind of different than what you expected?
I think it's been better than I expected.
Okay.
I didn't really know what to expect, to be honest with you. It's fascinating to me to see like Diana said, the old. I mean, you're walking on things that are 3,000 years old.
Yeah.
We don't have anything like that in America.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing to see and to think that this is where Jesus and the disciples walked.
Yeah.
In these very same places, especially right here at the Sea of Galilee, Capernaum. I mean, where Jesus likely called Peter out is just phenomenal, way beyond my wildest expectations.
We're obviously doing raw today, and you can hear those are military choppers. That's really encouraging. So we got a minute.
Sounds like Apaches.
Yeah.
They're Israelis.
No worries. No worries.
As long as they're going away from us and not coming toward us, I guess that's good. So, Ivy, what about you? What's it different than what you expected? What would you say?
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite of what my dad said, in a sense. Like, I do agree. It's a long way to walk. Like, if I had to walk these distances, it's incredible. But to know that you can see the other side of the Sea of Galilee. So when Jesus says to the disciples, we're going to the other side, they can see the side that they're going to. And then I think the idea that we're going to these places that are, some of them 3,000 years old and older in some cases, and then I'm actually able to walk on the ruins, like through the ruins, and touch these things. It seems like so many times you go to a museum, you can't feel it and touch it, and you just like have to look from a distance. But it's like a living museum that you can actually go to.
Living museum, yeah. So Stacy and I have been several times. Stacy, coming back, how is it different coming back each time? I mean, what's the benefit of coming over and over again?
Well, you're never gonna get tired of seeing new things, right? Even when you have been and you have seen, you see it with a different perspective, a different life experience from the time before, and it's so rich in information and the facts that you hear it, but you don't always process everything at the moment. And so then seeing it again, perhaps with fresh eyes, or there are things that you can't get to seeing in the small amount of time that we're here. So being able to come again is a gift and a blessing, because then you have the opportunity to think through some of the things that you have already seen in a different way, or process. Diane and I were talking a little bit ago about the first time seeing where Caiaphas' house, where Jesus, we haven't seen it yet on this trip, but just taking it all in the first time, and then the second time, the emotional response was just different. The anticipation of knowing what I was going to see hit me in a different way. And so there's the potential to experience it on different levels.
Yeah, and just, it's like going to school, right? Repetition helps you learn.
Right.
And so the more you return to this place and you hear the things again, it's like, oh, yeah. Because you guys have experienced this over the last 3 days. It is drinking from a fire hydrant, right?
Yeah.
You've gotten a lot of information real quick and trying to figure out, how do I remember all this? How do I process it? And, just the reality is you're going to forget a lot of it when you go home. You've taken lots of pictures that hopefully are going to help you to remember some of it. But, just repeat trips just kind of helps you to cement some of those things that you've learned in your mind. So, yeah, I mean, it's a lot to take in, isn't it?
Oh, man. I just, like you said, I've been Bible college and seminary. I've heard these words. I know the maps. I know everything. But to put it into place and to try to think the impact of where I am standing right now. The thing we did when we went to where the Apostle Paul, literally, we think relatively close to where he stood when he was witnessing to Festus.
Yeah.
And, this is where he was going to be, wished that he would be in chains. And we stood right there when we were in
Caesarea Maritima.
Yeah, it was just, that kind of thing just is overwhelming to me. Yeah. They were really there. This is real stuff. I think Ivy put it this way one time. He said it's kind of like Lord of the Rings, and then you actually get to go to the real Middle Earth. Of course, there is no real Middle Earth. But there is a real Jerusalem and Israel that you've only read about in the Bible. And you've accepted by faith, and now in ways your faith is allowed to become sight just a little bit, which is really a cool part of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how has, so we were, I guess it was yesterday, we were at Capernaum, for example. Where else? We were at Capernaum. We stopped by Nazareth for a few minutes.
Mount Carmel.
Mount Carmel. Yeah, so these places, being in the actual places, how do you think that's going to help you now when you go home and you actually read about these places in the Bible?
Well, it brings it all to life for sure. And if you haven't been, and you are a believer and you read the Bible, you should come. Everybody should come at least once.
Yeah.
Just to, it really does bring it to life.
I will not ignore the names anymore.
Yeah, that's what we were saying yesterday. Is that we have a tendency to read the scripture and just kind of run by the names of the cities because we have
this?
Yeah, because we have no point of reference for what Capernaum is.
Yeah.
It's just a name in the Bible, right? But then you come like, oh, okay, this is actual real place, and you can see it, and it just begins. You don't run over the names anymore, for sure.
Well,
right?
like Pastor Tommy, you were doing Wednesday night Bible studies on the Sermon on the Mount.
Mm-hmm.
Well, today, we're at the Mount of Beatitude, so
yeah. And you have that picture in your mind of what it looked like and what the crowds, how they could have gathered in that place. Yeah, again, it's perspective, which is really helpful, right?
Yep.
Right.
It lets us into the world of the actual audience of Scripture a little bit more.
There you go. I like that.
We can see a little bit more what the author, when he was writing it through the Holy Spirit's leading, intended for the audience to see, right? Like when we're at Capernaum and we see the millstone, we see the weight of that millstone and how it would be better for that to be around somebody's neck. And this, you can also look and see the sea when he says the millstone thrown into the sea around your neck. You can think, oh, well, somebody standing here at this olive press would have been like, don't want that.
Definitely.
And so you see it comes to life, whereas when we don't have that visual, it's hard to put ourselves in their place. So we can kind of, on some small fraction of a level, put ourselves where they were at the time when we get to see what little bit of what's left that they saw at the time. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I think for me, it's going to be helpful to give me an imagination when I'm even preparing my sermons. And I even have now an encyclopedia of images that I can go to, like preaching through the book of Ruth. If I go to the part where Boaz has to approach the governor about marrying Ruth, I can show the throne that we took a picture of today that he would have, one similar, not that exact one, but one similar he would have gone to. And just things like that are going to be really cool.
I've done a lot over the years, just throwing up pictures, especially when I preach through the gospel. You probably remember that. When I preach through the gospel of Mark, use a lot of images from here because it does. I mean, it's really helpful. And so, so I've got on my left Trey, on my right Ivy, father, son, both pastors. What's it been like sharing this experience as both pastors, right, who are father, son?
No, I've
because I'm not rooming with you guys.
Yeah.
What's the conversation?
I don't know if we want another conversation in the room. I'm just kidding.
Well, the reality is we go over what we've seen.
Yeah.
We talk about some of the things we want to see, but we're kind of bouncing off each other. I guess the ideas of what it like something would overwhelm me, and I'd say, "Have you thought about?" And what was it? I can't even remember what I was talking about today. But anyway, I said, "Have you thought about the gates of hell?" When we talked about that, and the Caesarea Philippi and Europe, and on the Via del Mar, and all those things working together. Again, Jesus from that point saying, "We're going to the world. We're going to capture the gates of hell. We're going to take it." And but that all came to light as we conversed back and forth, and you actually came back several things from me. And as a pastor, we're as pastors and teachers and those kind of things, you're able to kind of bounce those off each other.
Yeah, and I look forward to conversations as I reflect on some of this over time. I kind of like I already said, it just is tangible in ways that hasn't been before. I can't wait to actually go to Jerusalem, where there's so many things that I've preached so often that I've talked about and I've read about and described only from pictures, and to actually go there and be able to see it all. So
what about in your conversation with me though?
Yeah.
Come on, man, give me something.
Dad and son.
Yeah. So Dad,
it's a pretty cool experience being here with your dad.
It is really cool.
He keeps me from falling a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm here and helping get my dad to the places he can get to, and but at the same time, I think we talked about the gates of hell. I'm trying to think of all the things we talked about. Like you said, it's like a fire hydrant. I don't know. It's just so hard.
But just taking the next logical conclusion. If this is the case, then have you thought about this? Why?
Yeah.
And you do that a lot. I thought, well, maybe this. What do you think about that? Kind of bouncing that off each other. So.
But Trey, you do have some injury that you deal with and not able to get around maybe as quickly as you might like.
Yes.
But you've been able to do a lot, right?
Yeah.
So we have people listening who maybe want to make this trip someday, but think, man, I can't because of whatever injury. You might not be able to do everything, right? But you've been able to get around pretty well.
Yeah, it's been hard,
Yeah.
and
But worth it.
Well worth it. It's worth it just being here. I mean, if I could just sit right here on the Sea of Galilee, that's just incredible. It's incredible I just said that.
Right.
That I'm sitting in the Sea of Galilee. But seriously, I said if I could just do 50% of everything, I would be happy. But at this point, I've done way more than 50%.
Yeah,
I've done probably 90% at least, maybe even more. So, you just do what you have to do. And, but it's well worth anything that you have to give up or whatever to come and be a part. It just is. It is well worth the sacrifice.
So just think about where we've been for all of you. And I know we've got a lot more to see. We're day 3. We're here 11 days. So we're not even halfway through, right? We're, a third? Maybe a third? I don't know. Somewhere around. I don't do math. We got an accountant right here. He does.
Come
Come on,
Bill.
A third
Here's
is
my
about
phone.
right.
Third is about right. So thus
Round it up
far,
or down.
think about what you've seen and experienced. What has been the highlight up to this point, you think? The highlight.
Well, for me, it was probably baptism with Jenna yesterday, being baptized in the Jordan River. I mean, that was a rededication that I'll never forget.
Yeah, so stuff like that's real special to do with someone you love, like your wife. We were in part of the Jordan. That probably wasn't location where Jesus was baptized. We're going to see that location tomorrow, which is dirty, but the one up here is a little cleaner and more picturesque. And but that's a special experience. You're in the Jordan River, right? And it's a really special moment. So those are kind of some like the spiritual highlights, right? It's one thing to see the land and put it all in perspective, but then to have those spiritual moments that remind you of who you are in Christ. Those are really powerful, right? And to be able to share that with a spouse or with a son or a father, that's really, really unique too. What else? The highlight. What has been the number one highlight for you, Diana?
Being baptized in the Jordan was one, and then Capernaum for me was one, just to be where Jesus was for a large part of his time. And I just remember feeling how unworthy I felt, even walking in on the ground that he walked on.
That's good.
For me, it was the primacy of Peter. And that sounds strange because that's the name of the church they call it. But this idea that when Jesus looked at Peter and said, "Do you love me more than these?" And I felt led. It said, "This is the time to pray." When you walked in the little chapel they have there, and so I just went to my knees and just said, "Lord, may I never love anything more than you." I never want these, whatever the these are, to take over my relationship with you. And that was very powerful and moving.
Yeah, that's a neat little place. We were at the spot where Peter was restored. But after he denied Jesus 3 times, Jesus appears to him, right, and the other disciples, and they have breakfast together, and he asks that series of questions: "Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me?" And the response: "Feed my sheep, feed my sheep, feed my sheep." And just that reminder that Peter's mistakes did not disqualify him from the plan that Christ had for him, right?
That's right.
And how that place we were was such a place of grace. He experienced this restoration, and it's just a really powerful place.
I didn't expect that. That was one of those unexpected times I just didn't expect.
That's good. What about you, Abby? The highlight thus far?
Yeah, I think Caesarea Philippi has been my highlight. And there you have the gates of hell that Jesus talks about when he says the gates of hell will not prevail. But also you have these different temples there. And I had read about all this stuff. I'd preached that passage, read that passage my whole life, and read about this area. But seeing it just... it blew me away, and also the idea that Caesarea Philippi was a place where the Jewish people didn't go. Jesus did go, like the Pharisees and stuff wouldn't have gone there. Jesus does go there almost to get away from some of the pressure that's being put on him, and he set. That's basically the moment where he says to Peter, "I'm going to build my rock, my church on this rock." To Peter, and I'm a pastor in Boston, and sometimes I feel like maybe I'm pastoring in Caesarea Philippi,
right?
and And just that reminder that the gates of hell will not prevail is really powerful to me.
How about you, Stacy? I know you've been a few times, but been a highlight thus far, besides being with me.
Of course, dear. That's always a highlight.
That's the highlight of your life every single day.
Every day's Christmas with you.
Every day's a holiday. Absolutely.
Every day.
Every day's a holiday.
Well, just talking about, having seen some of the things before, but then catching things in the same place that I might not have caught before. Like it was pointed out this time about Paul, and we were potentially standing over the exact prison where he would have been. And then archaeology is uncovering stuff all the time.
All the time.
And so this time we see where Christians under persecution develop a system of communication whereby they
left their mark.
They leave their mark on the ground. And we think, we've heard the ichthus, they come along, they do one half this. But there were other things. And we see this time where they've etched a circle into the marble that's still there.
Didn't Paul actually, it was in that Pavlos was in the wall?
Maybe so. I think I remember him saying that. That's exactly right.
Pavlos was actually scratched into one of the walls in the prison.
So Paul might have wrote his name there.
Yeah.
That's wild, isn't it?
That blew me away.
Paul Graffiti.
Yeah, Paul Graffiti.
Right, and that's not far from where we see this new archaeological discovery.
Yeah.
And so they're always finding new things and that we can experience and see that may not have been available prior to. And so those things like that where...
But you think about Paul in prison, you think about Christians leaving signs to, hey, we're here, that kind of thing. And, after the ascension of Christ, when the disciples, the church is founded, it's not going to be much longer after the church is founded, they're going to begin to face immense persecution here in this area. They're going to be run out of Jerusalem, right? Run out of this area. And so, we can come here as Christians and enjoy this place in peace and walk where Jesus walked and have this wonderful experience. But when early Christians lived here, it wasn't such a wonderful experience.
Wow.
They were waiting for their lives, you know what I'm saying? And so just to think about how much has changed because of the boldness of early Christians to leave their mark, proclaim the faith, right, in spite of the persecution. And here we are 2,000 years later enjoying this land that when they lived here, they knew they were, as Peter describes them, elect exiles. This was not their home, you know? It's interesting. It's interesting. For me, I come here, I enjoy going back to all the sites and revisiting and relearning and learning new things. But for me, as a pastor, I just enjoy, bringing people for the first time, to bring someone like Bill or Diana or even you two to experience this place for the first time. It's fun for me to see the reactions and see you guys get it and make the connections. It's a lot of fun, right? And we talk about it, I think we talked about on the last podcast, Trey, that you don't have to come here to be a better Christian, obviously. No. You don't have to come here even to understand the Bible, because the Spirit of God lives inside of us, and in the community of faith, we're able to learn the Bible and study it together and know the Word. But it sure does help you have some perspective, and really, it is helpful for that, right? Just the context and to see where these things happen. And so if you guys think about talking to people and encouraging people to come, we're going to try to come again in 2024. For that person who might say, I don't know if that's for me, why should someone come on a trip like this, spend the money? Because it's a costly endeavor. You guys spent a lot of money to be here, right? And you got to save your pennies for a couple of years, all those kinds of things. Going to Hawaii would be nice, right? And maybe going to Hawaii would be a little bit cheaper. I don't know. But why this place? Why the sacrifice to come here rather than Hawaii?
Well, for me, I just think...
Well, y'all were supposed to go to Hawaii, weren't you, Bill? Isn't that right?
That was the McGee's.
Oh,
McGee's, that's right. Your friends McGee's. They were
here because they got canceled.
Because they got canceled for Hawaii because of COVID, and so they ended up here.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Aloha.
Anyway, but for me, I will say this: you've got to come. It's not just a perspective thing; it is also such an eye-opening thing. And as I said earlier, it's this faith becomes sight thing, where it's real. And I'm not really a sight I don't have to see something to believe it, but man,
Yeah.
It just really impacts your faith, and just the opportunity you have to be able to build your faith. And I would say, you do need to, if it takes a sacrifice for you to come, if it takes extra work, if it takes, getting that side hustle going so you can do it, start now. You got 2 years, you can do it. It is doable.
Yeah.
And so, but you'll never regret it.
What else?
I think maybe if you could come, the earlier you come, the better.
Yeah.
I think Tommy and I were talking about that earlier. It's encouraging that there's some younger folks on here. I just turned 60. If you could come earlier rather than later, you get a better perspective. I think in your Christian walk for your whole life, you have longer to reflect back on what you see.
Yeah.
So the earlier the better to me. I'm thankful I can come now, but I think that would be a thing, because it's gonna strengthen that foundation you have.
Yes.
Yeah.
And give you a perspective, give you maybe what we saw earlier today about the transfiguration. Jesus had confirmed it, but then he saw it on the Mount of Transfiguration.
Yeah.
I think you pointed out.
Peter, yeah.
When you hear it, but then you see it, it just reinforces.
Yeah. What else? Encouraging people to come who might be on the fence about taking a trip like this. How would you encourage them?
Well, I would say, why haven't you?
Yeah.
If you're a Christian, why wouldn't you want to come? Yes, it's an educational trip, but it is also a very spiritual trip. And if you want to grow closer with God and stronger in your walk, absolutely come.
What you think, Avi?
Yeah, if you have a issue with the Bible coming alive, you ever see those illuminated Bibles where they have pictures and all the letters and stuff, and to help the Bible come to life, the Bible will come to life after being here. You can be like, oh, I remember when I walked through that town, or So I think that's a big deal.
Yeah, for sure. So again, we've got a lot more to see, but just thinking now, we even talked about this some last night when we debriefed as a group together. Just in your walk with God, going home, what do you think will be different? How will this impact your walk? Now, I know, again, Spirit, He transforms us through His Word, right? So again, coming to a place like this doesn't necessarily make you a better Christian, but being in a place of Jesus and understanding the Word certainly is impactful. So how do you think this is going to impact your walk with Jesus as you go home?
I think just not glossing over the words, like you said. When you read the Sea of Galilee, you'll have that perspective.
Yeah.
It'll remind you. I think when we remember the faithfulness of God in the past, we know He'll be faithful in the future.
And just the visualization, because I think we're just visual people anyway. Just having those mental pictures is helpful.
Literally walked in the steps of the Master, just realizing that and knowing that we've been the place. I think I mentioned it last night, that when we were on the boat in the Sea of Galilee, looking out at the horizon, I realized that that's the exact horizon that Jesus would have looked at for a large portion of His life. That's impactful to me, and one of the reasons I wanted to go. I've always wanted to literally walk, behind the Master. So.
Yeah. I just think being able to read Scripture, and even now, just recently, just since I've been here, just be able to visualize and be able to make that impact my life. Okay, these were real people that were really going through these things, and now God is speaking to me through that Word, and He is doing the same for me. And just knowing that that's always there. And that I have been there and experienced it just makes it even a deeper, more fulfilling, more profound experience.
Yeah, it's just a reminder to me, right, that it's real. We're people of faith. We knew it was real before we came. It's just a reminder. It's real. There really was a man named Jesus who walked this earth, who lived and died and rose again, and my life has been changed because of Him. And it's just a good reminder that when you're here, it's real, right? So it's been fun. And so just think again, we're just getting started. And remember, Trey, when we get back and we do our next episode, we're doing your top 5.
Yep.
You can't be working on it. You haven't seen everything.
Well, I'm still working on it. I'm keeping good notes. I'm keeping a Bible. I'm doing everything.
All right. So we'll get back with your top 5. Be a
All
lot
right.
of fun. Hey, thank you guys for joining us for being special guests on the podcast. This is the most special guest we've ever had one time.
This was amazing.
Yeah, right?
We need to do it again.
I don't know about doing it again, but it was okay for this time.
It was fun.
It was fun.
Thank you.
So we're going to enjoy the rest of our time here in the Holy Land. If you are a part of the Northwood family, we do miss you. We look forward to seeing you back, and we'll be back. What is today? I don't even know what the day is. But
Today is
back
Monday. We'll be
March
back
4th.
next Monday.
Yeah, next Monday we'll be back. So but we miss you guys. We love you. We'll see you real soon. If you're not part of the Northwood family, I hope this has been helpful for you today. If you are listening and you have not done so before, as we tell you every episode, hit that subscribe button there on your podcast provider. That way you can have new content delivered to your device every single week. We really like those 5-star reviews because it just makes us feel
It
special.
does, yeah.
But that does really help.
Impact.
It helps the algorithm. You know what an algorithm is?
I do.
It helps the algorithms. What that means, it helps the algorithms. So if you'll hit that subscribe button, that helps out. Those 5-star reviews. And as always, we hope that today's episode has helped you connect faith to life. God bless.